That is some wonderful coffee. I mean, are you really serious with me? Well, listen, before you start looking at the stock markets today, get some coffee and calm down. But I think it might be okay today in America. Although I just don't see how, to be quite honest. With the Iranian nuke deal signed and the realization that now a 500,000 more barrels of oil a day will be starting to be produced in Iran, and that the Iranian oil is going to flood the world markets. It's going to drive the prices of crude oil down, which will affect the world economy, including the jobs right here in the United States, without question. Now, the price of oil is already closed yesterday at a little over $28 a barrel, which is very low. There's gas stations that were selling gas yesterday at 47 cents a gallon. Now, that was just a promotional, but the average right now is around $1.50 a gallon, which is good for the American consumer. But overall, with the price of crude oil falling, it will affect the global economy. Now, let me tell you what's going on. I just looked at the Dow Jones. The Dow Jones right now is up, just as the trading began 15 minutes ago. The Dow Jones is up 144 points, and it may finish up today as it tries to rally from last Friday's fall of 392 points. But it won't go up all the way past the 392. So what we've been noticing is it falls, it goes up a little. Then it falls and goes up a little. But overall, the trend is down. Now, here's what's going on. In France, French President Francois Hollande pledged yesterday to redefine France's business model and declared what he called, quote, a state of economic and social emergency. So he declared a state of economic and social emergency for the nation of France, unveiling a 2 billion euro plan to revive hiring and catch up with a fast-moving world economy. The measures he proposed, however, are relatively modest, and he said they would not put into question the 35-hour work week, with his country under a state of emergency since extremist attacks in November. Hollande did not seek to assure or assume any new emergency powers over the economy. So he wasn't looking for more power, but he was making a declaration that France is now in an economic and social emergency. What caused it? What caused it was the terrorist attacks on January 13th, 2015, there at the Charlie Hebdo magazine and also in the Jewish kosher deli, where 17 people mowed down by these radical Islamic Muslim militants. And then Friday the 13th, the 130 people slaughtered in the streets and the music hall and in the cafes and the bars of Paris. 130 dead, 350 wounded in a six-pronged attack by these radical Islamic jihadists. It has put tourism way down, which is definitely affecting the French economy. And with the unstable markets, France finds themselves in a very difficult position. Also, we do have information. The Asian markets closed today very flat following China's GDP report. The markets fell in Asia or remained very flat across the Asian markets today. China's confirmed that its economy last year grew at the slowest rate in 25 years. So that's affecting the Asian markets, the European markets, and it will affect the American markets. So we'll continue to keep an eye on the Dow Jones today. It is up 129 points as we speak, and we'll continue to keep an eye on what's going on. As the New World Order gets in position, if you take a look at the United Nations and understand that the New World Order, or the one world government, the beast, if you will, must be involved in the world economy. And so when you see that the formation of a world economy, a global citizens, now there's a big push for everybody to become a global citizen and a world economy. Remember what John saw in Revelation chapter 13 when he said in verse 1, I stood upon the sand of the sea and I saw a beast rise up out of the sea, having 7 heads and 10 horns, and upon the horns 10 crowns, and upon his heads the name blasphemy. Now, he goes on to say that this Antichrist and false prophet will have great extraordinary powers, and they will be given authority to carry out these powers. They will speak also words of blasphemy constantly. Matter of fact, you can read in verse 6, same chapter, Revelation 13:6 says, and he opened his mouth in blasphemy against God to blaspheme his name and his tabernacle and them that dwell in heaven. And it was given unto him to make war with the saints and to overcome them, and power was given him over all kindreds and tongues and nations. So this is a new world order, a one world government that speaks blasphemy. It's an antichrist government. It will be a socialistic, communistic, Sharia law mentality, a very oppressive regime that will not tolerate Christianity at all, but it will tolerate blasphemous worship. All right? And so as this thing grows, as it gets worse, we know that the economy plays a part in it. So if you skip on down in the chapter, you can get into verse 15. It says, he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. So there'll be mass executions going on constantly, slaughtering Christians who refuse to bow to the beast. And then in verse 16, and he caused all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. And here is wisdom. Let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man. And his number is 666, or 666. Now notice, you can't buy or sell without the mark. And notice he's making war against the saints and to execute them. So this is going to become a very violent world in the last days. And matter of fact, that's exactly what Jesus said would happen. If you read Matthew 24, he told you in verses 9 and 10 that the Christians and that we're going to be persecuted. But he also said to us that you will definitely see, he says, as it was in the days of Noah, so shall it be in the coming of the Son of Man. There will be, eating and drinking and marrying and giving in marriage until the day that Noah entered into the ark and the door was shut. But also it says, and the earth was filled with violence in the days of Noah, and man's hearts were on evil continually, and every imagination was on evil continually, and the earth was filled with violence. And you can read that in the 6th chapter of the book of Genesis. So this is the type of world we're going to be experiencing. So you have to get real. And I notice now the market is now 100 points up. So since I started this video, it is starting to readjust. We'll see what it winds up today. I'm not even sure it's going to end up in a positive. It may. But again, it'll try to rebound from a 392-point loss on Friday, but it will not recover completely. And then tomorrow you may see another fall. I don't know, but the markets are sliding worldwide, which fits in perfectly with the formation of the chaos that will continue in these last days. Are you saved? Give your life to Jesus Christ and stand tall and stand strong in the power of his might. Because you see, we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities and powers and spiritual wickedness in high places, all right? And we're not ashamed of the gospel of Christ, for it is the power of God unto salvation. But it's important that people understand how the global economy is going to be constantly in a state of chaos and panic, just like the rest of the world is. And all of this is just the beginning of sorrows. Are you serious? Are you saved?